Web Design Ninja is your one-stop shop for all things internet. Our dedicated team has been building internet solutions for businesses large and small since 1993. We specialize in creating eye-catching designs, search engine optimization, complex e-commerce, and custom app integration, whether you need a simple website or a complex e-commerce or phone app. Our team of experts is here for you. Give us a call today. We're here to help.
Hey.
And we're live. Hey, good evening, everybody.
Hey, we're here in beautiful Apollo Beach. Thank you for joining us. This is South Shore Live. This is our local business channel, friendship network, and also local cheerleaders for lots of good things.
Absolutely.
I am Howard, the founder of South Shore Cleaning and Supply, which is now run by my son and my son-in-law. And with me tonight is, of course, my co-host, Captain K.O. Leonard, local business owner as well. We have two people in the studio tonight who I'm happy to call friends, that we actually know each other, and we actually do some business together as well. We also have some great topics tonight. We have a remote call-in from an undisclosed secret location. We have Chris is going to be calling in, telling you about his event this Saturday. And also, too, we were invited to some good events. The world's a little crazy. The world's a little fun still. So thanks for joining us. We have Allie Serrano with us, Serrano Portraits. And again, we have Excellence in Digital, Pierre Henry, my buddy here.
Good to see you.
And they are local entrepreneurs in town here, of which, as our disclaimer, I'm going to go over
And before we
to
start,
Mr.
hey,
Teo.
so full disclosure and disclaimer. Do as we do, but not as we say. No, seriously.
This show is for entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only. Don't hold us responsible. If you fuck around and find out, oh well, stuff happens, but it's not our fault.
Don't bring it on to yourself, guys.
You've been warned.
You've been warned.
We recommend products and services that we personally have had great experiences with. We don't take any money for
samples,
any samples or endorsements or anything else.
But we will say that we do have a sponsor of the show now. And we do. We have our friends at Illusion Vodka. We and sampling on the show. And we will
and we did get that bottle of vodka for free. So
for sample purposes only. We do encourage you to try the products that we're trying. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. But he is now our new sponsor, and he'll be coming on the show. And little by little tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit about his product, and we're going to get a nice opinion from our friends here after we get through the business stuff. So the rest of the disclaimer, sir.
That's pretty much it. We're not responsible for your mistakes or your misguidance, or if you follow something we say and then blame us, it's not our fault. So with that,
I also want to shout out our friends here at Tampa Bay Sports Entertainment, running the show tonight, and also too make sure if you'd like to advertise with them or contact them about a great event, make sure you.
And it's pretty cool how that happened, because it was Apollo Beach Publishing, and now it's all of Tampa Bay. It's grown just astronomically, which is awesome, because if you're in Tampa, there's stuff to do all the time.
Like you can smoke a cigar.
I can.
And Tampa is one of these towns that you don't get looked down on if you just pull out a cigar. It's very everyday.
I know.
Here.
I'm worried about that when I go to Europe. I'm like, I'll be walking down the streets in Paris and Zurich and stuff.
I could smell a cigar, but it wasn't like a big conglomeration of people smoking cigars. But you could smell it now and then. And again, Allie, from Europe. So a cigar.
So Allie, so where are you from? What country are you from?
Originally from Czech Republic.
Okay.
I left there when I was 18, so I haven't smoked cigars or cigarettes, but I remember at the time you could smoke cigarettes everywhere and anywhere.
Right.
It's definitely not that way now.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's changed a lot in the last several years. I know when I was in Switzerland, you could smoke absolutely anywhere at any time.
Yep.
And same with France, and same with
cigarette
Europe.
Consumption there is just mind-boggling.
And it's cut way back. But then like there's Mexico that is totally Mexico's even banned vaping in the entire country of Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
there goes one of my future vacations.
And now and that's actually why we used to always go for 3 to 4 weeks. We'd go to Mexico for 3 to 4 weeks and go to our place in Cozumel.
They want you to buy fentanyl.
And you can't even smoke cigars on the beach anymore.
But they'll sell them to you, though.
But they'll sell them to you.
No problem selling them to you. But you can't have it here.
But you can't smoke them in any public area
Sounds like an opportunity
and so
to get on the boat and smoke a cigar.
So I'm like, screw that. I'm going to Jamaica next time,
There
or
you go.
Belize, or whatever. So, but it's kind of weird how the whole anti-smoking craze is kind of taken on. I was surprised with the vape. I've watched people in the airport literally get hauled away and fined thousands of dollars for bringing their vape into Mexico.
Well, yeah, but again, every country has its own deal and stuff.
Yeah.
But also too, in the time in our lifetimes too, you're actually seeing more people smoke marijuana than you are actually drinking now. More people smoke weed than they do drink.
Yeah.
So you would have never said, "Oh, go
sign,
Bucks."
Yeah, with the Bucks
Go
sign,
Bucks.
it's a
It's a sign.
sign in the head.
Fumble. Nope. Turnover. Recovery. Slap it up top, real hard. Slap that. Slap that. Slap it. There we go.
Yeah.
There we
Oops,
go.
There
sorry.
you go. Go Bucks.
Studio
In the
malfunction.
meanwhile, though, that brings up another quick thing. 14 weeks until the Buccaneers will be playing, and I can't wait for it. And also this Thursday, we have for the Buccaneers, we have their draft party. And what they do is they open it up to season pass holders, and they have a lot of events. It's a great event. It costs just a few bucks to get in, and they give a lot of giveaways, and it's also supported by some of the local and big corporations who support the Bucks during the year. You get to meet a few bucks. They give you a lot of swag. They feed you. It's a great event over at the stadium. It's Thursday night, and you can come and go as you please. It's not like you've got to be there all day because the Bucks, because they were so good, are going to be picking at about 11 o'clock at night. So we'll be cutting out about 9:30. So on to our guests.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're all losers. So what we have with us tonight, we have
You're just
we have
You just rip it off.
look at you, you brute. You brute.
Behind the power thing.
okay.
Oh,
There you go. So now I won't hit him in the head.
All right. So like I said, tonight our guests are Pierre and Allie. I'm going to be a little informal with them because we are friends.
Yeah.
So tell everyone a little bit about what you do, Pierre, and in a quick minute and a half, what you think things are about you in your business. What you got?
Well, besides growing the couch, I work on all the small and starting businesses that are trying to launch, try to get some traction, start their brand, build their brand, or grow their brand. So you're looking at anything from web design, getting you a new website, building out your existing one, getting you a professional email address so people can recognize and build a little bit of trust on your domain.
That's something that amazes me is I have thousands of customers, and the number I still have people with AOL.
Yeah.
Oh
email,
my God.
and the people that have Gmail and
Earthlink.net.
and
Hotmail.
and I'm
HughesNet.
just like, are you
I have
kidding me?
Hotmail.
If you can't
Don't hate
spend the
Hotmail.
$20 a year for
The migration is
an
just
actual
insane.
domain name, why would I do business with you?
Some of the scammers have better looking email addresses than some of the
Oh, I know.
legitimate
Dude,
business
I
owners.
got one today.
.live.usa.com.
I got one today scamming me with,
It's hard to scam.
coming from my my fundraising software company, and I'm like, oh, my password's expired. Oh, yeah, good luck, dude.
Got me, almost.
I'm my own web server, so I know that's not the case. But yeah, so is it hard to get? I know my viewpoint. When you're working with these small businesses, is it hard to get them off of a Gmail or AOL account?
It is hard sometimes because it's a fear of the unknown, and people have like an emotional connection to this email address that they've had forever. So
they also have
on top of it, they're getting it for free. Why would they pay for something that is already working for them?
They
Right?
got 78,000 emails in their box as well.
So, and there's a question. I'm going to interrupt you here. Are there stats on people that don't buy it? Like, I know that 2 years ago, and I haven't checked it recently, I know that if I got a hard referral, if I sent Howard a hard referral, right? So I have personally recommended South Shore Cleaning Supply, and I sent them a referral. I know that 74.8% of those people are going to look at his website to make sure that he's a legitimate business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's almost 75% of a hard referral. I mean, not somebody's looking to check it out on the website. Are you aware? I haven't looked. Are there any stats on the email address? I would assume that there's got to be some stats on people that bail.
Yeah,
because of a Gmail.
And also get shot down too.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. They bail. They decide, I'm not going to move forward because they don't have a real presence.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you looked at the places where a user clicks, which, a lot of websites that you go to, if they have that set up, I could set it up for you. You can see where they're clicking on a page, how long they spend on the page, what they click, and when they exit. If you have a high bounce rate, that may be it. If they're going through and they're looking at your footer or your header and it doesn't look good, or your images look bad, or your website is poorly developed, they're probably going to go do business elsewhere.
Yep.
Now, the other reason for people hanging on to their Gmail accounts is because of the connection with their systems, right? I know not all the systems are connected to the API other systems, so sometimes you need the Gmail to do the smoothest.
Well, yeah.
connection.
I mean, like I have multiple Google calendars,
Right.
and my wife and I share some, but I have. Well, it's great because she'll be like, okay, we got to be at Howard's at 4:30 is the alarm to go to leave for Howard's for, Tuesday night dinner.
The other alarm says you got to be under the car.
Yeah. Or I'm going to be stuck at the traffic jam at 41 and Apollo Beach Boulevard.
That's it.
But, you still, I mean, I have 14 email addresses I've actively used because I own a handful of companies, and plus I have my personal, and I keep that stuff separate. But I don't understand why people, it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, have your Gmail that you've always had, but still, and you can pay, it's not a lot of money to have your email set up to be, well, like my servers won't forward anymore to Gmail because Gmail will mark it as spam. So it degrades the server reputation. But there's no reason why you can set up Gmail to be your IMAP and your SMTP host, so you can log into Gmail and have your accounts.
Absolutely.
Right.
But what's most important is a lot of people, due to all the spam that's been happening lately, they're requiring email addresses to have domain key identified mail.
Right.
And those DMARC records set up. And if you don't have those records in your domain set up, the big providers are just going to lock you out. They're not going to deliver the email, or you're going to have trouble accessing email. So a lot of people aren't even aware of that. So that's something to consider. Even if you have a professional email address, but maybe someone hasn't set those records up for you, that's something to think about if you're having email trouble. I've had a lot of people come to me just to fix that issue.
Sure.
If you have any questions, feel free to call up. This is your free tech support moment.
Oh yeah, because between the two of us, we can talk tech all day long.
Absolutely.
So the business email stuff that you're doing, and then you're also doing marketing, right?
Absolutely. Who doesn't like to talk about marketing?
Right?
Exactly.
Now, that monitor turned off. That.
What I appreciate about Pierre, though, he doesn't just do marketing as a job.
Thank you.
We literally go for walks, and he'd give me idea after idea after idea, and like they're all amazing. And he does this for all his clients, so it's not just about the official marketing, but like he literally try to support that business and the best way that he knows, and with like tons of literally an idea factory for all the things that they can do to grow.
So what's your background? You were in finance.
I actually got my degree in economics and finance, and I took up, instead of having the easy electives, I chose programming. So I took up C#.NET programming. I was doing VB.NET programming as well.
Okay, you're younger. I was doing COBOL.
Yeah. So to this day, I still do .NET, SQL, and yeah, it's just good stuff.
Like
I enjoy it.
Like 20 other coding languages.
There's so many that I write.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Allie with us, who is a photographer and also very learned in this subject because you are with Pierre, and you integrate both of them into your services. Tell everyone about your services.
So I'm a professional photographer. I love empowering business owners, and not just in business, but in personal way, to be the rock star of your own life, of your own path. If you're owning a business, my goal is for you to grow. My goal is for you to shine. If you're marketing a business, why not shine above all the other images out there that you use to promote all of the other competitors of yours with amazing high quality, magazine quality portraits, images, products, service oriented images, whatever you need to help promote your business. And that really well integrates with building a website, because websites get a lot more traction with high quality images to promote them. But on the personal side, I focus a lot on women empowerment. And what I love in that regard is helping women feel amazing about themselves. I mean, if you think about
You made me look pretty.
Thank you.
That's and I put that all the time when I recommend
we
her.
talked about women empowering.
No, but I mean,
Howard,
I did a walk on and she just made me look glamorous.
No,
Yes.
Where most people, when you take a picture, it's a picture. And I say this about she's more artsy about it. Is that an easy way for me to say it?
It's
Howard
Yeah.
is the
Say it.
best woman she's
oh, I know.
No,
I'm
let
not
me
trying to make
wait a
this
minute.
about
Don't,
me.
don't
let
find
me
that
explain
picture
that.
from Robert King that he shares over and over.
No,
Yeah.
let me explain that. The reason I talk about women is, to be honest, men don't necessarily like to be photographed.
Well,
Like you,
all right.
some do. There are exceptions, and those I'll photograph anybody. You bring, any gender in front of me, I'll photograph
Waste
them. But women tend to want that a lot more than men do.
I think women want to feel pretty and appreciated and whatever. I'm like, I am what I am. It's like, I don't know. And part of it was me being a boat bum for so many years, sailing around the world. That's just like, whatever.
Yeah, but wouldn't you like to wake up one day like Tom Brady pretty? Just like, oh, she made me feel like that.
I did when I was
When
younger.
I looked at that picture on the wall, it's like, you know what? I'm like Tom Brady pretty.
Yeah.
That one moment you captured.
No,
and I mean
I'd
that
like
sincerely.
to get a picture of Stacy and I, like as a couple, where we're like where I'm actually like made up. Because, I wear shorts and T-shirts. This is dressed up, right? A Columbia shirt and shorts.
You're looking good, by the way.
I
A shout out to the captain dropping some pounds. There you go. He's on a mission.
Yeah, what's
I
up,
know.
Slim?
I got to lose like
Slim
another
too?
8 pounds because I want to jump off the Matterhorn with that parasail. Yeah, let's
We're
go
gonna
to
take
her
a break right
commercial.
now. Tell your friends to watch.
Are you in it, Joanne?
Yes, she is.
Oh, all right.
Whoa.
So we're gonna go to commercial. And
I
then
never
we'll
signed
come
up
back.
for this, guys.
All right.
All right. Well, you're gonna catch a glimpse of our preview of.
Yay? Yay. Happy yay?
Welcome back. So that was pretty cool. We saw both Pierre and Allie's
In action.
ads in actions and those photos. Oh my God. So we
Allie is our next victim. I mean, contestant in tonight.
yeah. So we have
A new
Illusion
sponsor.
Vodka, and I'm pretty cool with this. So a
I'm
lot
pretty cool with this.
Well, a lot of people know that I was a professional magician, and due to my disease, I'm not really able to do magic anymore with the muscle stuff. But his bottles have tricks on them.
Yeah, his
and
packaging is phenomenal.
It's pretty cool. And oh, Allie, you got a glass there.
Now, he has two kinds, so
Another one.
he left for us to try here. Now, as you know, I'm really not a big drinker. I'm the green sheep of the family. However, Allie has decided to step up because
I like vodka.
Pierre and Teo are drinking some. It looks like, was that whiskey?
I'm
Or
doing my
bourbon.
rum, and he's
The
doing
rum?
bourbon. Yeah.
There you go. And then Allie here is going to try. Which one did she? There's a black cherry one, and there is a.
Here, let me see.
Let's see
that.
what we got
I
here.
want to smell
Which
it.
one
Is
did you
that, is
pour,
that the
babe?
regular?
Oh, well, this is the black cherry because
This is the regular.
this is the Voodoo Black Cherry, and it's
Oh.
Illusion
Just-
Vodka here.
Yep,
He's
just
based out of
straight-
Tampa,
just straight
Florida.
Vodka there.
Magic Bob. His information is running across the bottom, and this is purchasable online. And you can get this. It's served locally here at
It's
a
a bunch
local-
of different liquor stores. I see.
yeah, they have it with, I think, at Finn's. He has it at the Bistro. He has it at a lot of local places here. He has it at JJ's, the Shamrock. He's got it at so and it's turning and burning. So I mean,
Yeah,
people
It's
like it.
really smooth.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said it's a very smooth.
And we're tasting
so-
the clear one for the record.
Yeah.
It is very smooth.
This is delicious.
Yeah.
There you go. And
You
again,
could
that's
just drink this. You don't even need a mixer. You can
No,
just
Right.
sip
you don't.
this.
So what's
how do you like that, Magic Bob? Huh? Pretty good. Eh?
So remind me again what's special about this?
Well, first of all,
Other than the taste.
it's made
than the
it's made in the United States. Number two, his packaging comes along with a story, and he's a magician. He's made this bottle very interesting, and along with just drinking the vodka, you can have a good time at the party, showing the parlor tricks with his bottle. Is that a good way to explain it?
That's a good way to explain it.
So, I
Every
mean, for
bottle
a business
has, each
aspect-
bottle has a magic trick on it.
Has a few
that-
of them on there.
Yeah, and they're self-working tricks.
Teo was a professional musician. I was and also a magician.
Yes, I was both. I
Triple threat, bro.
I know.
I also go under the guise of Howard the Unknown Drummer, and that's another thing Teo and I share. We both play drums.
Yep.
And so he looked at this, and he actually knew Bob before I did, and he was like, "This is great."
Yeah,
So welcome aboard,
knew,
Bob.
I knew him as the magic guy, and in our magic groups. And then when he came out with that, I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And it's a neat
Very smooth.
presentation, and it's a good vodka. I'm not a vodka person. I'm a rum and scotch person.
I like my vodkas.
So
There you go.
the only time I drink vodka is Bloody Marys.
Yeah, huh? That was my mother's drink.
Yeah.
She loved that Clamato. Oof.
Oh,
God bless Carol. So
Well, just a reminder real quick to please
Shoot.
drink responsibly.
yes.
oh
21 and
yeah.
up.
Right into the camera there.
21 and up, don't sue us.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. So again, you're a photographer and you are a digital producer and also I guess webmaster you'd call it. The two together.
Somebody once called him a Dr. SEO.
Okay. So the two together, like a Reese cup, you either work individually and you also work together
For sure.
for sure.
Absolutely.
So that's why you're on this side and you're on this side. I like that idea tonight. So our topics for tonight is Chris going to be able? Is Chris going to make it on? You think, Joe? We're waiting for Chris to come on. Okay, so our other special guest will be coaching in a few minutes.
So hey, I want to give a shout out.
Shoot.
So, my boat has had issues since the fall
Since you
with
moved
the
in,
hurricanes.
yes.
You know, so we haven't been doing the sunset thing, and we
Miss it.
I've had a leak, and just enough that it's made me uncomfortable. Right? You know, I can go out and I'm like, okay, the bilge is running too often. Donnie Halco, Bay Area Outboards. I actually need to give a shout out to both Chris at Aquamarine, which is in the Thompson Auto Parts there in Ruskin. They put my new motor on a year and a half ago. Great group of people. And if you're looking for a repower of your boat,
We are a boating community.
They're Suzuki outboards. Their price, they match the big boy prices. It was within $100, but it saves going to St. Pete, putting your boat on a trailer, everything else. They were able to pick it up.
It's your neighbors too.
And right there in Ruskin, and put my brand new Suzuki on it. Donnie has maintained my boats for, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 years. And I've been having this problem with a leak, and we've really been banging our heads on it. And so he came over to, it's great, right? They come over to the house, we put it in the water, we're checking out different spots where it could be. We're kind of at an impasse going, what's wrong with this? We're going to have to haul it out. And thanks to Robbie Massengill at Costa Living Realty, Robbie and Joe Lee loaned me their trailer because my boat is on my dock, my floating dock. So I don't have a trailer. So they loaned me their trailer for a couple of weeks. Donnie met me at the ramp. We hauled the boat out. Donnie identified the problem right away. I'm able to fix it myself. So in the next couple of days, I'll have my boat back in the water. But, we are so lucky to have companies like Donnie Halko at Barria Outboards or Chris at Aquamarine here in Ruskin, who, without having to take your boat up to Tampa or St. Pete,
they're hands-on
or
guys.
Bradenton, they're hands-on guys. They'll come to your house, they'll do the service, and have you up and running for the same price or a little better price than the big guys up in the main town. And it saves, I would have it would have been a pain in the butt to take my boat into Tampa to have it serviced. And I need to give a shout out because Donnie was great. Him and his helper came, they spent a little time. They identified the problem. I have the option now of fixing myself, or I can hire somebody to do it. It's something I can fix myself, which is easy. And I'll be back on the water this weekend. So
I just, a lot to be said about local business.
I haven't given a shout out to Donnie in a long time. So I just wanted to do that because it's worth its weight in gold.
That's awesome.
Well, we also have a list of people there that are good local businesses that every week, whether you watch the show or not, we either use, recommend, and again, Teo, I'm here for 12 years. You're here for over 20. There's a lot of charlatans. There's a lot of
century
corporate baggers. There's a lot of people that come in and promise the world and take everybody's money. If you don't put your money where your mouth is, you're not going to get very far. So when we're promoting these people, I know that they're going to show up to these jobs. I know that they're going to die. No one's ever perfect. I mean, I might be 5 minutes late. I might, we might tell you to use this person and their drill bit goes into your cat. I can't help you.
Well,
but the people that we know,
so
do good work. I mean, you honestly,
yeah.
Am I right? I mean, if things happen.
Well, and we got to shout out. We got to shout out.
And if you look on that list,
right,
we shout out Allie Serrano.
Yep.
And of course, right after that you come, but that's the way it works.
Yep.
And again, Flip Flop Shop, another great example of a local business that sells national product that you can get any time of day in 2 hours to your house. But then you got to try it on and ship it back. This and that. They may not have your selection.
But you know what? Okay, so
go to Flip Flop Shop.
It's $5 more for Hey Dudes
exactly
than if you could buy them online, and you can go right there in Sun City, try them on. They have them in stock
and the color you want.
And Pam stands behind the products. I bought, my wife wasn't feeling well enough to go. So I bought a pair for my wife and they didn't fit. And I went back and they didn't have that style in the size that she needed. Pam took them back. No problem.
There you go.
No hassle. I ended up buying a second pair. And it's worth its weight in gold. And, Jen Bud always, I smoke cigars in here. Howard's great. Howard and Joanne.
Jen Bud, what a great person.
They're great. They let me smoke cigars in the studio.
Nice person.
And Pierre's joining me today. So
doesn't smell green in here. It smells brown in here.
It does not smell like cigars in the studio. JD Coaching, of course. Cars and Coffee at Waterset, Aldo and Andre and Chris.
And then go back to the top, Pure Romance by Trish.
Yeah, Pure Romance by Trish, my favorite. And Pool Kings Joe. I want to go back to Joe. Is I had a pool service at the time.
He doesn't care.
I did some bartering. He didn't care.
No.
He knew that we got killed by the hurricane. He came and added shock twice a day because he was doing my neighbors, and he came and goes, "Hey, Teo, I'm going to shock your pool." And my pool was salvaged. I was swimming in a week, and other people were not swimming for freaking 3 months.
Wow. Was not
and
doing shutters. He was doing so much control of people's damage control to their pools. He didn't even care. Didn't care if he knew you. You had a pool. You had a problem. He was out 2 days after the hurricane, helping everyone for 16 hours a day.
He went down my street. He had one customer on my street. One customer on my street. And he went down the street and shocked all the pools, both directions, every time he went to treat his one customer. He had one customer out of like 10.
Yeah.
And he treated everybody every single time at his own expense.
Yeah, on his dime.
And he didn't pass out business cards.
Nothing.
Go, hey, I want
remember
your
me
pool
next
service
time,
or whatever.
He didn't want people's houses ruined.
He just walked into the backyard and he dropped a scoop. He spread a scoop in, and then went to the next one. And he did that all throughout our neighborhood, knowing that all of us, 80% of my neighborhood was flooded. We all lost our houses. We lost our cars. We lost everything we owned. And a stand-up guy, and I go, "Hey, let me pay you for some of this." He goes, "Dude, you lost enough.
Yeah.
I'm happy to help." And
big shout out to Joe's.
Huge shout out to Joe. He just he went the absolute distance. He could have been making bank, charging. A lot of people are charging $1,500, $2,000 to drain a pool and refill.
Again, that brought us back to brings us right back to, the people we were recommending here. They have good, solid businesses in our neighborhood, the South Shore area. There's plenty other ones out there.
And I need to do
and
one
I'm sure
more.
They do good jobs too.
I need to do another shout out to Brett Proctor.
There you go.
With Grease Medic. So I found Brett when he first moved from like West Virginia or Virginia to the Tampa area. And I had a problem. I had a Volkswagen Cabriolet at the time, and I needed the AC, and they wanted like $4,000 to fix the AC at the VW dealership. And I'm like, frick that. So I ended up.
That'll be $4,000, sir.
I think it was like on Craigslist or whatever. And so I called Brett, and Brett's like, "Oh, that's bullshit. It's like you can get this part, and it'll be this." And he came and fixed it. And I referred him to people. And when a good friend of mine, Marianne, she had some drama and ended up having her insurance expired and then got rear-ended and lost her license because her insurance expired the night before, right? She had an accident at like 8 in the morning. Insurance expired at 8.
It happens.
At like midnight. And she thought it was the next day. And she's got her truck and she needs a new motor. And she's been calling around to different places or whatever. I'm like, "Hey, just call Brett." Brett goes, "Oh, let me check a couple of yards. I'm sure we can find a motor." He calls back, found a motor for a couple $100 cheaper than what it was supposed to be. And he was out there yesterday installing her new motor. And she goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe." I'm like, if I recommend somebody, it's because I freaking trust them. And
in your house.
And she goes, "Well, why do you think I asked you to call him for me?" And and he's going to come and do the AC and a couple things on my truck. And that's a guy that you can just trust. If he tells you it's going to be $1,000, there is no better deal. You're not going to fix it for cheaper than $1,000.
Here's another one. Lovely Flowers stepping up here.
Lovely Flowers. Yeah.
To give her a shout out.
She
Lovely Flowers.
You talk about a little rock star?
She's amazing.
Yeah, right.
Anybody can go down to Publix and go buy a rose, but if you really want to make a statement and you want to get your loved one, whether it be for a loved one that's passed, for sympathy for a funeral arrangement, or whether it be a birth bouquet, a birth, whatever it be, you want to step it up.
You and your love all the time.
Call Lovely Flowers.
You're like
get some lovely flowers.
You're too big for it to be a cherub, but you can be a cherub. It's the glove of love.
Little balloon, little teddy bear with it.
I may be a little bit partial. I do handle SEO for her website,
but again,
the product is amazing.
She does a great job,
and I don't want to overstep on the flowers, but we have two. We also have Oops-a-Daisy.
Oh yeah,
and
plenty of business for everyone.
And between Oopsie Daisy and Lovely Flowers, both are phenomenal. Laura, before she passed away, oh my God, she's in my phone as Laura Lifesaver. If I did something to piss off Stacy, it's like I
put it on my account,
dude. Seriously, it's on here. I'm gonna pull.
We
it
have
up
a tab,
right
Mr.
Wait,
Leonard.
you said if.
Well, yeah.
That's the third time this week, Mr. Leonard. You've now extended your limit of how many times you can go over.
Yeah. So
he's on retainer.
how do I have
You
it?
have her on
Do
speed
I
dial.
not?
Laura
I
Lifesaver.
actually
Lifesaver.
have
That's
it
what it
as
says.
Laura Lifesaver on my phone. Because if or like one of my employees, right? I am not always the best boss.
Stop.
I get
Cut it out.
I'm big on my customer stuff, so I'm like, take care of this. And if I upset one of my employees, I'm like, oopsie daisy, freaking send a delivery. They know the address, they know the info, and Lovely is the same way. So I just want to do equal deal on because we have two that are phenomenal, and you can't go wrong with either one.
But we also have 120,000 people in this area now. Before we had 2,000.
Yeah, 1,278 homes or 1,170 under 1,200 homes. So I bought my house here.
So that's got to be changing a little bit of your business, little business. I mean, you know, first when we first met, it was still not even that packed down here. I mean, there's been a little rush of people, when, you know. So there's other services I'm guessing that you're offering, as well as not just the things that you particularly do, like headshots and professional business things.
So obviously, before we moved down to Apollo Beach in Tampa, I did a lot more headshots, a lot less family portraits. That's now flipped. I do a lot more the personal side than I do the business side. But
I think it's the demos change too.
The demos change
without a doubt,
definitely.
and the demos got to change with you too, because you see a lot more.
Oh,
do you see a lot more business startups, or do you see a lot more people that are existing and looking to jump? Are you finding fresh business, or are you finding people that say, "Hey, this is what's been going on; it needs to be cleaned up"?
What I've been finding lately, as a result of all the market turmoil.
Listen, brother, you're gonna have to wait.
Yeah. We'll be
Let me tell you, brother,
right with our call-in guest.
Let me tell you, I'm far enough away to talk enough about you.
I've been finding a lot of people that are looking for ways to navigate, the choppy seas of the market and figure out strategy, basically, because margins are really tight, and if people will go with your competitor for just you're $1 more expensive, they're going to go with your competitor. Right. So you need strategy to navigate this. You have to know what to do, and every industry is different.
What you gonna do when these 24-inch pythons get a hold of you, brother?
That's
and
right.
That being said,
That's
we're gonna
we're
gonna introduce Chris Savio with us, who is having a fantastic professional wrestling event live in Seminole, Florida. Here, Chris is the owner and operator and trainer of. Go right ahead, sir.
Death Proof Dojo right here in Tampa, Florida, 33619. What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome, Chris. Welcome to join. Man, thanks for joining us.
How great is this? He's got a real dojo there that he trains wrestlers, and they get moved up into the ranks as far as how good they can be to become actual WWE superstars, AEW superstars, TNA superstars, from the smaller circuit and going all the way up. He reminds me a little bit of, like, did you guys ever play that video game Rock Band?
Picture.
Yeah, well,
and you start here
it,
and you get better and better and better, and finally you're big
into wrestling. You watch that stuff all the time.
Yeah, well, I do. Guilty pleasure, guys. I do have my Wednesday nights. I have my chocolates, my dog, and my AEW wrestling.
Are we
had
there we go. We got Joanne posing with the model.
Joanne was here.
That picture.
Joanne with the guns. All right, Chris.
So Chris had the opportunity. Joanne was with them today, checking out the dojo live, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the event. Joanne's going to switch out to him to a bigger screen, and he's going to tell us what's going on and who's on the main card. And let me tell you something about this main card. I heard about it yesterday. I'd be pissed off too for what this guy did.
Okay.
All right, you tell him, Chris. For real,
go for it.
You know what? I was still shaking.
All right. Well, I hope to keep that going, man. 426, the place to be is American Legion 252 in Seminole. You will see the one and only CEO of Death Proof Dojo, Chris Silvio, taking on Dirty Devin Diaz. I had my homegirl Joanne come in earlier. We had an emotional conversation. about pro wrestling, my passion for the sport that I've given my life to, and the match I have against one of my former students. This isn't one of
Turn his
those
back
like,
on him.
yeah, this isn't one of those like little stupid stories where somebody stole your briefcase or your girlfriend. Like, this is real life things that we're putting into a pro wrestling ring, and the whole town's going to turn out for it. I've given
Now,
everyone
this
a
is Seminole,
guarantee.
right? So Seminole is in St. Pete, right? Or
That's right.
Pinellas
Yep.
County, not Seminole Heights. I just want to
Correct.
clarify that for our viewers.
Yep.
Good clarification.
Not Seminole Heights. And I've given everyone my personal guarantee. I'm going into the ring Saturday night with the sole intent to put on the best live pro wrestling match you have ever seen. And if I don't live up to that, take me to task, but that's my promise. That's what I'm giving
Annie
you guys
from
all.
Lovely Flowers was asking, where is the wrestling match at? So you just answered that.
Yep.
Yep, American Legion 252. You can get tickets right now on Eventbrite. Use the promo code DEATHPROOF. Get 10% off. And I'm doing a special deal for anybody that gets VIP tickets, front row or second row. I'm hooking you up with a free autographed 8x10 and some personalized merch from myself to you, just as a thank you for supporting
cool.
the thing I love the most, professional wrestling.
Awesome.
Joanne, can you put a link out there for people?
Let me tell you something.
She's on it.
Yeah.
Professional
How about-
wrestling is in my heart as a kid. It's the epic struggle between good and evil, and you know it's a very tight line, fine line when you got to be that evil person to get those good results. In return, you never know who to trust, and that's the truth. It's
Yep.
a moral of life. And you know
That's-
you're our hero out there Saturday night, and you better take out dirty
Dirty
guy.
Devil.
Dirty
Yeah.
Devil. Because if
The
not,
funny thing is,
I might have to suit up. I may have to come out of retirement. I may have to be your tag partner.
I would kill to see
I
that tag team.
might have to literally bring down the pain, brother.
All right. Hey,
Because-
if you want to wrestle Howard, I'm buying VIP front row seats for like the whole of Apollo Beach.
Now,
yeah,
again,
book it.
getting out of retirement is going to take a lot for me, Teo. But you know, if this guy goes bad, and I see that happening,
Look at those guns.
I
Look
might
at
have
those
to be the
guns on
one
his arm.
to put this guy back into place. So don't make me have to do that, Chris. You got it?
It's funny you say that, man. Like I'm your hero going in. About 90% of the audience is going to be thinking the exact opposite.
Good.
That's the beauty of pro wrestling. I'm going to be hated when I step in the ring. I did some bad things to Devin Diaz, but in my heart, I feel it was justified to do.
Did you give him a dirty Diaz?
Well, no, what
Maybe
he did
something
was
like that.
Put
But
those two snakes on him, you know, those pythons you got around it.
yeah, right.
We
You
have some
guys have
video
heard
of
this
training earlier
before.
too.
You know, you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Oh no.
And I take offense when somebody that I brought up and raised from absolutely nothing
Lived
bites
on your
my
couch.
hand. Yeah, and
I know, ate the
that's
food out of your fridge.
yeah, that's
Took a
not very
shower
cool.
in your shower, used your bathroom, used your toothbrush. I get it.
So-
We found the
Chris-
hype man.
So Chris, I want to hear. So how'd you get into pro wrestling? Are you, were you into the weightlifting and then wrestling in high school and college, and then it morphed into a career? How does this happen?
A little bit of all that. Yeah, I wrestled in middle school, high school, college. This is literally what I was destined to do. I told
that's
Joanne
cool.
about this. I told Joanne about this earlier. I'll give you guys a quick story. My first Christmas, my mother got me a bunch of baby toys, like whatever you get a 1-year-old, CNCs, stuff like that.
Baseball bat, a chair, some barbed wire.
No, not quite those.
No.
Go
And
straight out
every
CZW
gift
right
I
away.
opened, every gift I opened, I said, "Thanks, Mom, but put it back in the box." My brothers are older, and they all got the WWF LJN action figures, the big rubber ones. So
Yeah.
it turned out that so my mother gave me one of each of theirs, returned all my baby toys, saved a bunch of money. That's been me since I was 1 year old. 1 year old.
Oh,
It's who I
cool.
am. It's in my core. I was born a wrestler. I'll die a wrestler. I was born an outlaw. I'll die an outlaw. You know, Tiger don't change the stripes, man.
That's cool.
Let me tell you something. I'm from Jersey. Pierre's from Jersey. If you're from Jersey, there's one thing. At any time, your pro wrestler comes out when it needs to come out. It's just that simple. And it's touched a lot of people's lives. I mean, my father, rest in peace, was not into sports, but the only sport that my father truly made time for was professional wrestling.
Oh, that's cool.
My father did not mow the lawn. He was a watchmaker.
My
His
father didn't mow
hands-
the lawn either.
No,
He
no, but his
frickin'
hands
stuck
his
me
hands
behind
were-
the mower at 8 and said, "Learn how to start." And then my
his
mom had to
steadiness
start
was
it. And I couldn't
he was
even
a
start it.
jeweler. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
his steadiness was very important. So he never really did much manual, really didn't play sports much. Wasn't, but he was in great shape. He was genetically like really built for. I mean, he was like 5'10", maybe 185, and he was, like my son Bruce. He's built like a brick shit house. Not like me. I'm more built like a condo. So, but
And I'm built
professional
like an office building.
professional wrestling, when you think about the impact it's made on this kid's life and even girls' lives, for women's professional wrestling is now the highest growing segment of professional wrestling.
So I want to address the elephant in the room. with
WrestleMania?
professional- No, with professional wrestling, is everyone thinks it's scripted. So
Well, the pain isn't scripted.
You
it
guys-
doesn't look. I mean, I look at the stuff and I go, okay, some of this stuff looks like pretty cool special effects, but on the other hand, I'm thinking not. But I'm gonna put Chris on the carpet, so he probably is like, "Oh, shut the fuck up, Teo, get out of here."
No.
But no,
No,
it's what's the deal on that? Is it you
Dirty
you
Diaz
guys
is getting
you
his ass
guys
kicked anyhow.
you guys are kind of friends out of the ring, but then you go to battle, and then how's that play into like the boxing arena and that on the wrestling circuit?
sure. First thing, unfortunately, to burst your bubble, there are no special effects. I wish we had stunt pads. I wish we used fake blood, fake chairs. That's an illusion that doesn't exist.
Okay.
The ring you see right now, it's not a trampoline. It's made of steel and wood. We fall down on that for a living. It hurts like a you know what.
Okay.
The best way I can describe this, no, not everybody's friends backstage. It's like any other job, right? You like some of your
Right.
coworkers, you hate some of your coworkers.
Yep.
We go there to do a job, and everybody does what's best for business. So the way that I describe it to everyone, look at what we do as a boxing exhibition match. You put
Okay.
two boxers in the ring for an exhibition. They're not trying to end the other man's career. They're trying to entertain the crowd. They're hitting each other. They're putting on a great show.
Showcasing their skills.
Yes, exactly. But they're not trying to murder somebody. That's the
Right.
crux of the art of what we do. So my job when I get in there, if I wrestle Howard and he puts on his singlet, my job is to kick the ever-living hell out of Howard, but make sure that he can get up and go to work the next day. If you don't
That's cool.
do that,
And
you're not
as
a pro,
well-
you're not an artist.
And as
Okay.
well, though, have to make the other guy look good if he's not having a good day.
Yeah.
You're working. Remember, you're still working with the guy because in actuality, one of these guys literally can beat the shit out of each other in 1 minute.
Right.
I mean, to death. Now,
So-
I just want to one more thing. These guys work long. A football game is 2.5 hours, and the gameplay is 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Now think about an athlete that trains 9 months out of the year to play football, and they're playing 2 minutes over 3 hours. These guys can perform up to 1 hour straight with no break, no towels, no water. These guys are athletes of athletes. When you see these guys are ripped, they are ripped for a reason.
Oh yeah.
They perform and they work.
I was going to ask that as a performance, so to speak, the goal is also not to end the match, so to speak, so quickly to where they're bored watching or leaving the show watching after a quick
Good
match,
point, Allie.
right? Their goal is to keep it going and keep it entertaining and keep the crowd watching. Correct
So-
me if I'm wrong.
Why there's so many 2 counts?
Yeah.
Somebody that's really good in this job, they understand the art of crowd control and storytelling. So sometimes it's best for the show or for your match if the match ends in 2 minutes. Other times it's best if it goes for 40 minutes. So it just all depends on different variables. But part of that art, Howard made a good point, is that yeah, sometimes you might show up and your opponent is hurt. I had this example very recently where I had an opponent that his ribs were just entirely messed up, and we had to get through a 15-minute match and he could barely breathe.
Yikes.
But again, he's got to work. He's got a family to
Yeah.
feed. It's a job.
You don't
This
wrestle.
is a
if you
chosen
don't eat.
profession.
Exactly. So
Like
it was on
Gladiator,
my
they were like either
shoulders.
throw him to the wolves or fight for your life.
Right.
You've now made a
Pretty much,
decision to
man.
beat the shit out of your body. So let's make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, but the easy way to do it is to just
Go to the lion.
Well, no, give him some illusion vodka after the.
There you go.
Yes, and we're
I've been
trying to
waiting
tie
on
an
it.
illusion vodka into his next promotion. That way he can ease the pain out.
I want to
because
try the other one, by the way. Whenever
Allie's in for the next
Oh
one.
yeah.
So we're gonna
Hey, let
take
me
a break,
ask you
Chris.
guys a question.
We're going to
How
show
many
your
ti-
videos. We're going to take a break. You're welcome to stick around, but Allie's going to line up her next shot of Illusion Vodka, and then we're going
the
to
voodoo vodka.
Voodoo Vodka.
Oh.
We're going to talk a little bit about WrestleMania for a minute or two. We had one other topic, and then that's about it. But we want to make sure that you stick around. So give us about 2 minutes. We're going to show people what you do for a living. How's that sound?
Beautiful. Love it.
Hang tight.
Awesome. Thanks for
See you back
joining
in
us.
2 and 2 and after a shot.
We'll be right back. I see my open. Get over here. Boom. And this. Damn, he beat me with a punch. No, he didn't. Boom.
For her. And we're back.
We are back here with Chris, Allie, and Pierre. Welcome to South Shore Live. This is our last segment, so if you haven't watched it, go back to YouTube or tell a friend. We're going to be sticking around here for about another 15 minutes. Check it out. Show. There you go. He's getting warmed up for Saturday's show. So, yeah, Dirty Diaz, I really, from this whole, he told us the whole story yesterday on our rock and roll show. And I really hope he gets his ass kicked.
Can I
I'm
ask?
gonna,
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Wrestling versus UFC.
total
Okay.
opposite.
Yeah.
I know, but what's the feel? I know the difference, but like
Between us, or do you want Chris to answer that?
both.
UFC is straight demolition. You're in there for one purpose:
Destroy your
to
opponent.
destroy your
your
opponent
opponent.
immediately. But at the point that he no longer can continue, you back off.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I actually don't enjoy UFC at all. And maybe it's the fact that
A lot of grappling.
I have a problem with
Mm.
people being
This is
destroyed. That's, by the way, this illusion vodka,
Sorry to interrupt.
freaking
this is
cherry
delicious.
flavored is
Butterfly.
fucking. I'm not a vodka person, but I could be drinking this.
Teo's in. Hey, Zach
So-
is up. I can't read that. Oh, we can't make it, but Zach has an event
Yeah.
coming out. Check him out
gotta
on our
have another
page.
As a
disclaimer.
reminder,
Do-
please drink responsibly.
Yes.
21 and up. We are not responsible.
I guess his name is Magic Bob for a reason, guys.
But no, on UFC. So I have trouble like watching TV where you watch people make bad choices and
In
you
life?
watch them. Yeah, I just
Well, that would be redneck backyard boxing.
yeah, and UFC. I look at people getting
Chris, can you?
just
Joe, can you make Chris bigger?
annihilated, and I just don't enjoy watching somebody get beat that bad. Boxing is one thing, wrestling is another, but UFC, I'm just like,
Joe,
okay,
make him a bigger person.
I just don't.
What I enjoy about UFC is sometimes it's the strategy part of the jujitsu.
Same.
Oh well,
versus
same.
like
from the martial arts, from the Kempo karate style, I enjoy the strategy absolutely.
like, are we gonna stand? Are we gonna go down on the floor? Or who's gonna get down who first? Like that kind of thing. I really enjoy watching.
Chris, what you got?
Versus just boxing.
yeah,
Like they
Yes.
stand and move.
What's your take on UFC versus wrestling?
So UFC essentially stole everything about pro wrestling and made it into one of the biggest shows in the world. If you go back and watch, look at Conor McGregor, Ronda
Oh.
Rousey, anyone through, All they
Yep.
did was take what we do in pro wrestling and put it on that stage.
On a
The only
showcase.
difference between us and UFC, there are two differences. One is that we get paid the same whether we win or lose, so we're not worried about ripping somebody's head off legitimately. Number
Okay.
two is, I don't know if you guys know this, a UFC fighter, even the best of the best, at most is going to fight 4 times a year, and that's pushing it. We don't
Correct.
have an off season. We're the only sport in the world that has no off season. When I wrestled full time, I would have up to 200 dates a year. In one summer, I clocked in 65 professional matches.
Wow.
Wow.
I've
And how long
trained.
is the average match?
Yes, I've trained MMA fighters. I won't mention his names. I don't want to put him out there. This is a big level former MMA champion who trained in pro wrestling and wanted to transition. He told me honestly, Chris, the training that you guys do and what you put in was harder than any of my MMA training. And that's
Wow.
from the horse's mouth.
Well, again, you have marathon matches at any time. They can go 15, 20, 35, 40, 50 minutes. No break, no towel, no water, no bathroom. I mean, when you think about it, if you're bleeding, you get no towel. Blood's in
Right.
your eye. You know,
Yeah.
boxers, they have 3 minutes to do what they do. They lean on each other for 2.5 of those minutes. And then and they do. And then they get a towel. They get some Vaseline. Would you like a mint? Here, would you like would you like a chewy bar? Oh, okay, here you go. They even wear a mouthpiece. These guys go and, they get their ass kicked.
Yeah,
Howard,
and one of the things I have to think about is think about how intense a UFC match is and what impact that has on how long that person can compete at such a high level. I
Yep.
know that the wrestling, it's competing much longer for longer periods of time, but at the same time, you could see someone wrestle for many, many years versus you're in UFC a long time. You're probably going to be worn out in a very short period.
You are bashed.
I think the injury part is what I have a challenge with emotionally. I mean, I know people think I'm just an asshole and I don't care, but I actually do care about people. And when I watch those UFC battles, I'm just like, ouch.
Did you watch the original ones before Dana White bought? Did you watch them?
Yeah, like, I don't know, 15,
They were
20 years, 15,
over
20 years
more
ago.
than that.
And
they were pretty much criminal.
It was
You couldn't bite.
It literally was.
You
I mean,
could-
it was criminal in my opinion, and I think that's what turned me off about it.
Now it's at least very well controlled, but some of the damage that's done is done. I mean, you see some of the champs and some of the winners in the stands, and you're like, dude, you wrestled too many, you fought too many matches,
Right?
So that being said, on the other side we have the sports entertainment. That's cute. WrestleMania, 126,000 at attendance, 2 days.
Wow.
Box office draw, I'm guessing, is probably 150 to 200 $100 million in just the box office. I'm thinking they pulled.
Okay.
I was very happy. The production of it was amazing. Some people like the AFC, some people like the NFC. Some things about WrestleMania was interesting. Was the music behind WrestleMania? A lot of the artists are tied into WrestleMania, and that's probably one of the biggest platforms in the world to get a new song out or to get. It's shown in how many countries? 95 countries, something like that.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
More viewership than the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Could you imagine getting smacked down to the song that you wrote?
Oh my God. Just to give you an idea of some of the musicians that were tied into WrestleMania last night or 2 nights ago. $215 million draw.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Was Slayer.
Okay.
Was tied in with those guys. Who else? Cardi B.
Okay.
Now again, to pay Cardi B, don't get me wrong, but it's not like she's going to get a check for $200,000. They're paying her $1 million for a 5-second spot. You know what I mean? Whatever she does.
Travis Scott,
who is probably one of the biggest producers that I never heard of, but apparently he's a big shot in music.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know him either.
I had no idea that this guy has 100 albums, 200 this credit, that credit. You know what I mean? And he's a rapper.
Yep.
Jelly Roll was involved. In Living Color.
Wow.
So,
Really?
Yeah. So all the bands that happened or over the years of 50, 40 years, 41 years of WrestleMania, all these entrance music songs that over the years that these guys have taken on have kept some of these entertainers in the eyes of the public forever.
In the eyes of a tiger.
You know, and that being said, WrestleMania as a platform in Americana is pretty much the international Super Bowl of American entertainment when you think about it.
Next to soccer.
Well, soccer's different. I mean, this is just one event.
Yeah.
This is just one event that everyone in the world is tuning in at one time for one show, and it's incredible. There was also some amazing 17-time world champion happened. And in your industry, I mean, that's when you're 17 times the pinnacle of a corporation that runs the entire industry. That's pretty strong. Cena, I'll give it up to him. And John Cena again is another institution in himself, like The Rock. Look at the entertainers that the WWE have brought into our lives. They brought us Randy Savage. If you don't snap into a Slim Jim, you don't know who Randy Savage is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought us the Hulkster. They brought us, essentially Hulk Hogan. And where did he go? Right to Rocky. The crossover of wrestling in Americana is so huge. You may not like it, but your nephew does. And his school teacher does. And it is such, and if you didn't like it now, 20 years ago, you like Bam Bam Bigelow. Just something about him. You know what I mean?
It's just so funny. I have a comment to add to that because you said that if you don't like it, your cousin does, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to be over here the other night, but I had family over, and then they asked me to get on the PlayStation. Their mom said, no, you can't play PlayStation. He looked at me straight in the eye. He's like, can we watch wrestling?
There you go. It is just such an Americana, and it's touched my life, and it touches virtually everyone's life, and it's a pure American entertainment made in America from, you know what I mean? There's offshoots everywhere in the world. Immigrants came here, but it turned into an American institution that we put out to them. And it's everything.
It is a show.
It's a show. Every match was sponsored by a major manufacturer. It was amazing. It was Nissan Noodles, Minecraft, a movie, a game sponsored and spent tens of $millions just to put their name on one 30-minute match at WrestleMania. Now I said that's just the draw, maybe $100 million. That was probably $1 billion weekend for the corporation.
I watched it on TV and was just watching the energy of the people watching the entertainment, and it's electric. It's electric.
It's like a Rush concert to me, guys.
But you know what? It's so scary, but it's also so smooth. It's scary.
Well, it doesn't always go that smooth, does it, Chris? Chris has worked for some major.
He says that as he drinks.
As we drink that cherry vodka.
You've worked for some major promotions. Does it always go smooth?
Doesn't always go smooth. You never have the perfect night. You never have the perfect match. An interesting point about what you guys were saying about pro wrestling. I'll share a little secret with you. Even the people that say they hate it or will trash talk or whatever, there is something about pro wrestling, even if they don't tell you about it, that everybody likes. We have this uncanny ability to almost get people to revert back to their childhood selves. They walk in, they know that if Chris Silvio's wrestling Howard, we are working. I'm not going to try to murder Howard. Yes, I'm going to whip his ass, but I'm not trying to murder the guy. I like Howard. But for those 30 minutes that we're in the ring,
hit out.
Yeah, for those 30 minutes,
the hit's out there. And you know what? Let me tell you, if you're in the business and you're willing to take the hit, that's what it's about. You know, you're in this job. You've chosen to be a wrestler. So if you piss somebody off, one of the guys in the locker room is going to take your head out.
So I'm not a huge fan,
brother,
but I totally respect the showmanship.
It's incredible.
And the effort that it takes to get into that ring. And I think most people are on the same caliber, even if they're not a fan of wrestling. You have to enjoy the effort that it took to get there.
The dedication.
Right? The dedication. Yeah.
Tough job.
I have an immense respect for the business aspect of it. It's not the first thing I'm going to watch when I turn on the TV, but at the same time, I'm amazed at what it took to get there. But and that's just me being, I'm a history buff. I like
it's so many jobs rolled into one.
The way that it works into that, and you just how do you not admire the effort that Chris, you spend working out, training, and all the effort that you put in to go get in the ring for 30 or 40 minutes. That to me, that's just
to entertain someone.
Yeah, it's the same thing as an ex musician and magician both. People, you can't just practice something for 15 minutes and go happen, no matter what your athletic skill is. And you have to just admire what happens for that. So
I actually met a pro wrestler one time before, and I didn't even know he was a pro wrestler. I guess you're a pro wrestler.
Second pro wrestler.
But it was so funny because I'd never seen him wrestle or anything like that. I didn't know who he was, but I got to meet him. I was like, he's such a cool guy. Then I saw him on TV. I was just like, he's a great showman, because if you watch him exclusively on TV, you would just think he's a villain and he's a bad guy. But it's just
so locally, we have you guys are familiar with Beanie Sports Girl, right? Beanie's in Ruskin. So Beanie's daughter is a professional women's wrestler. And
she was with TNA for a while.
I probably know her. What's her name?
She was in TNA. Long black hair. I'm trying to think who it was.
Oh man, and I'm drawing a total blank. And she's on my Facebook.
Let me know.
I will.
Yeah,
she was. She was. I know she was in TNA for like.
And she was out of Orlando. She worked out of Orlando, and watching those matches, I was like, oh my god, what an amazing art that is.
An athlete.
Yeah, art as an athletic
stuntman.
It's
athlete, performer, showmanship, gymnast, dancer, because you're doing it with someone else too. I mean, they're choreographed as far as working together, not to get hurt. It's amazing. It's truly amazing.
And I'm sorry, what was your name again, brother, in the blue shirt? I didn't catch it.
I'm Teo.
That's Captain Teo.
I'm Teo.
Teo, my man, Chris Silvio. I have an offer for you.
Okay.
You appreciate pro wrestling, and you've shown a lot of respect, and I'm grateful for that. You're not a fan of wrestling, so I'm going to give you an offer. Come watch me wrestle this Saturday. If I don't make you a fan, 90 days, free personal training from yours truly.
Oh, shit.
You might end up looking like this, brother.
All right.
That's a great offer.
Now I got to drive to
Seminole.
I met Teo a few years ago.
Okay, so Mary Kate
take Lovely Flowers
Glidewell.
with you.
Mary Kate Dugan.
That's not her show name.
No, exactly what you're talking about. Mary Kate.
So
it's Mary Ann. Lovely Flowers said it's
Mary
Ann.
Mary Kate Dugan Glidewell is her official name, and I'm trying to think of what her
Mary Ann, they just said it in the comments.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hannah.
Yeah.
Do you accept the offer there?
Oh heck yeah.
There you go.
I got to do my best to get over there. I got to figure out. I got to get the boat fixed first, and but I'd like to come see that, Chris.
Get the boat, hop
would.
in it.
They'll pull the boat
And
out
I'm a man
on
of my
trailer.
word, man.
Yeah.
I don't make you a
They'll
fan.
come out on the
90
boat.
days personal training, free.
Oh yeah, I'd love to do
when I
that.
first met Teo, our schedules were really crazy, and he's like, "How come you can't do Wednesdays?" I say, "I watch wrestling," and I can't imagine what you were thinking. And then here I am, 57, 56, 55 years old.
And then we lost the house in the hurricane, and you guys graciously gave us the room here for a while.
So then
it was like every time it's like wrestling. I'm
he's
like,
like,
that's cool.
And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, in between him taking naps, I could see why you watch this. And then I would just watch news, and after that, like, no sitcoms, and after a while. Yeah,
yeah, that's the other thing. I only sleep like 4 hours a day.
Stacy would stay for the first match, and then she'd go to bed. I'm like, the first match. There's certain matches that it's either going to be a fantastic kickoff match. They're either going to talk shit for 15 minutes, and then it's going to be garbage, and then a great match, or the best is yet to come, and we're going to get let down. So I usually go with the first match is going to be the best match right off the bat, because they want people to stay in their seats and get them hooked. And that's when MJF was really strong. I mean, he was just coming out of the gate at like 8:06 and just taking the show over. And that's when Stacy really saw my love for wrestling. It's like, geez, man, you're just a child. I'm like, no, it's the battle of good and evil, and it's the story, and it's the showmanship, and now you get it, and everybody gets it. Chris, thank you. We're going to do our best to get to your show this Saturday.
I'm going to try.
We're going to do our best. We actually, and believe it or not, we're going to try and do a double that night. We were asked by Pat Travers to come see his band over in St. Pete. We're going to try and wrap that up first, and then maybe come over to see you. But we're going to see what we can do. But without a doubt, we are supporting you.
I do promise, if it's not this Saturday, I will come and see a match.
But I did 100%. Mention to Teo that you were on the docket for this weekend.
Yes.
When's your next one after this one?
And I'm right here in Tampa, Death Proof Dojo, for any aspiring wrestlers that want to make this into a career. No BS. You want to make a living doing this form, this athleticism, this form of art. I'm your dude at Death Proof Dojo on social media. Hit me up. Chris Silvio, trainer of the stars, pro wrestler extraordinaire. And thanks as always, man, bringing me on the show, Howard. Always have a blast.
Dude, our pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you.
See you Saturday.
Really enjoyed
you too, guys.
Much love. One for me, dude.
Yes,
you got
it. Don't
side
do
wrestling leg sweep for you,
on wrestling. Chris
Give him a dusty.
Yeah.
Peace, brothers.
Peace.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank Chris for coming out and making our show fantastic. Chris. We want to thank Allie Serrano for coming out. We want to thank Pierre Henry for coming out for Excellence Digital. Of course, Captain Teo, lovely flowers, who is so lovely. Bob, you're a lucky man, more than you know. So, and congratulations on the refrigerator in the backyard. Wow, that thing's huge. You need anything, you make sure you reach out to us. And if anyone has any questions or would like to join our show, reach out to Teo.
Yep.
We hope you guys had a great time. Anything you want to tell anyone here in YouTube and Facebook, Phil?
Have a wonderfully lovely day, and
how can they get a hold of you?
Be kind to each other. At Allie Portraits.
Cool.
.com or
.usa.net.
At Facebook, at Instagram, at YouTube.
Pierre, what do you think about the vodka?
The vodka is smooth. It's so scary. It's smooth, like it says on the label itself.
I especially like this cherry one.
Yeah,
the cherry's out of control.
I don't know which one.
Are you coming back for more, my dear?
If my other half will want to, I'm down.
That is
we'll be seeing Allie Serrano more.
Yeah, Pierre's going to be driving, and Allie's going to be drinking.
We do everything together. So yeah.
This is the good part about having a sponsor. Have as much as you want. Come back when you'd like.
Absolutely. And Pierre, what's your website?
Oh, I think we're off. Are we off?
No, we're still on.
No, we're still on there.
You can reach me at excellence-digital.com. You can just go to the contact us. There'll be a bright green button in the top right-hand corner, or you can just give me a call, 813-565-3131.
Captain Teo, let people know how they can help you out.
Oh, just the Web Design Ninja, but also chance2win.org. And by the way, I want to do a shout out. We have one of our favorite fundraisers going on right now. I shared it in the closed group. It's Pembroke Pines, the city of Pembroke Pines, and they have a charter school. They raffle off twice a year in the fall and the spring a Florida prepaid college scholarship. And it's a full 4-year scholarship. And doesn't matter if it's a first grader or a high school student. They just have to have not completed their senior year. And it ends on the 30th. I shared it on the closed group. We'll throw it up on South Shore Live as well. The website for that. And it's one of those, it's $100 for an entry. You get, and the odds are absolutely phenomenal. The number of entries versus the odds of winning are better than a lot of the stuff like the cars and the other stuff that we raffle off. But for nonprofits, we provide an online fundraising platform. We help tens of thousands of nonprofits raise money. And to me, that's more important than my website business. It's just, I enjoy helping other people. And it's cool that we've helped tens of thousands of charities raise money for very needy causes and worthwhile causes. So chance2win.org is my main business. The website business as well. We have, I don't know, 8,000-9,000 customers on that. So, but the Pembroke Pines, we'll throw it up here after the fact for that raffle. And there's another week to enter yet. And so if you have a kid or a grandkid and you're interested in a chance for them to go to college, it's a great opportunity to support the Pembroke Pines charter schools over in Florida, and you have a chance to win a Florida prepaid scholarship for $100. It's a great cause, and the odds are excellent.
Well, I would like to first of all shout out the boys here at South Shore Cleaning and Supply.
My floors have never looked better.
Not just saying that because they sponsor the show. It's just because as a proud father, when I see the reviews, when I know that I passed the business over to them and they're holding it at my standard, that's great. They've actually brought it up a little bit because I had a day job. They work hard. They do the best they can. Big shout out to those guys. Also, to you and everyone out there, every morning I like to say, good morning, don't be a shitty person. I'm asking everybody to be nice to each other, be friendly. We all get along. When we work together, if your heads are banging with each other, we can't even talk to each other. And that's not a good thing. This show is about local business and everyone getting along in our little community in Hamlet. Thank you for watching. Also, too, there's one thing I forgot that's going to make you smile, Teo.
Okay.
There are 2 shows coming to Tampa Bay, and I think one of them you may actually want to go to.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? This is sponsored by Tampa Bay Sports Entertainment Magazine. South Shore Live.
Oh, remind me, I owe for those tickets coming up here.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yep.
Who wouldn't want to go see Barry Manilow?
You know what?
There you go.
I got to tell you.
It's going to be a great show.
I think it would be a great show. He actually has a handful of songs that
he's Americana too.
Just captivating. I mean,
Copacabana right there.
I'm not just going to
right
throw
there,
it.
you
I'm
won
not
right
just
there.
going to throw it on my
Dude's got some
playlist
pipes.
to crank out, but he plays excellent.
Number 2. ZZ Top.
I'm in. As a car guy, I'm in. I'm in for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's
and hey, one second before we go off, I need to thank Guy Fieri for his limited edition knuckle sandwich cigar. If you haven't had these are freaking great. They only made like 20, I don't know, 100 boxes or whatever. They're ultra rare, but that's what I've been smoking tonight. And Guy out there on the Food Network, thank you for bringing me a bit of paradise on a cigar tonight.
And we will take any donated food that you have.
And
over this way, Guy.
Make sure you check us out next week. We have who do we have? Julius with us next week.
So I want to bring. Do we have room for Justin Figueroa? Because I really want to bring Justin in with his musical stuff and that, and then his wife Kelly has the Pilates studio.
Yeah,
and she can't be on, but we're gonna plug via Justin. So if that works,
what kind of musical stuff he got going on?
He does everything. So they actually met on a cruise ship. And he was a vocalist on a band traveling on cruise ships, and she was the dancer.
Oh, that's neat.
And their history is really great. And Justin and Kelly have been great friends
season.
of mine because Kelly has helped me a lot with muscle degeneration with the Pilates. If I would have thought, if anybody out there, they know me, the last thing they would do is see my fat ass in a Pilates studio doing yoga and Pilates. I got to tell you, Kelly, I absolutely love you. Justin, I need to put the disclaimer on there.
That's revenue stream right there, dude.
I love your wife, but she has made so much pain go away from the vaccine damage that is unbelievable. And so I can't wait to have them on the show. I know Kelly has a class on Tuesday night at the Pilates studio, so she can't do it. But Justin, he does drone. The drone video stuff. Neat. And then he does vocals, and he's in a couple different bands, and he does music coaching and stuff like that.
Excellent.
So I'd like to have him on the show either next week or the week after. We'll have Justin on.
Well, make sure you guys tune in next week. You got a great show coming up. Thank you guys again. Please tell your friends, like, share, watch us on YouTube, and most importantly, interact with us. Check out our fantastic commercials. Also, check out South Shore Live. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Thank you.
Awesome.
Pierre.
Thanks, everybody.
Breaky, wakey.
But a little bit more. 150. Take the 50.
I don't not like the Ford. I just don't like the chairs
grabbed it
going
extra.
in each other's heads apart. That's the
No,
part.
I got to drive. So I never have more than 2 drinks, and I had 2 wines and the shot. So that's like
That's kind of my fault because I just.
I know. I'm
So is there
I'm normally
more
the
chair
deal.
dropping or less than?
Needles from cigar.
Yay?
Yay.
Happy yay?